Previously on Podcast Without Pretense.
Guys, I can't wait to see you in LA next week. E3 is going to be amazing.
So my silence says it all.
This isn't the right show. This was never the right show.
How true that those words turned out to be. I am Jonathan Strickland.
I am Ayaz Akhtar.
And I'm Eric Sandine.
And together, we will bring you the most comprehensive news about E3 on the internet. So, Eric, you're on the show floor. Tell us what you see.
It's warm. I think we're in Vegas.
Uh-oh.
So obviously, Eric's been out drinking a lot. I've been out on the show floor in Los Angeles, and it looks a lot like last year's E3, except Microsoft sucks less and Sony has very little to say. Jonathan?
I actually went to Nintendo's press conference, and now I am lost.
Well, that's good. I think we've covered. That's our comprehensive coverage of E3.
There we go.
2015.
I think
Thanks
we can
for
move
watching.
On. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys paid any attention at all to the new? I mean, as I'm sure you have, but the news coming out of E3.
Bit. Well, I was off on Monday, so I totally unplugged, and my workplace didn't realize that Monday was like the first day of E3, and so they're like, "Why did we give you that day off?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I randomly picked it 2 months ago." So like, okay, well, you can keep the day off, but it's gonna be rough. And so I got caught up on about Tuesday morning because I'm like, oh, Microsoft, Xbox One backward compatibility. That's pretty cool. Partial compatibility. And Sony, I don't know what they're doing. I think they showed off Morpheus.
They showed off, well, really mostly they were talking about the games lineup. I mean, that was the big thing that they talked about in theirs. And a lot of their stuff was keying in on nostalgic value. So one was The Last Guardian, which was a game that was announced several years ago and then kind of faded into development hell, and no one had heard anything about it since then. And so people were really excited that a game they had thought that they were eventually going to get to play, they may still eventually get to play. And then there was the announcement of a Final Fantasy VII remake, which got a lot of people excited. And to me, that's just sad. And sad not because I mean, I don't give a shit about the Final Fantasy series. I don't care about the Final Fantasy series, but it's sad to see one of the biggest reactions of the night go to a remake. Not a reboot, not a new game. It's literally a remake of the game that people have already played. And if that's the thing that gets the biggest reaction, that is troublesome because, I mean, I kind of want new games. I love lots of old games. I got excited, I will admit, E3 a couple of years ago when they showed that they were going to remaster Grim Fandango and re-release it. But that was because it was a game that I wanted to show my wife who had never seen it, and I didn't have a machine that would run the old one. So, this was one that just didn't do anything for me.
As a quick aside to your Grim Fandango remake excitement, so the Steam sale is going on right now, and I bought Grim Fandango and was playing it, and my girlfriend actually, who doesn't play video games, walked over, asked what I was playing, bought Grim Fandango, and is right now playing it.
It's one of those. Well, I mean, an adventure game is very accessible, right? Like it's not the style of game that's going to torment you right out of the gate, like some sort of platformer.
It can torment you pretty hard if you have no.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Grim Fandango is actually pretty rough. Like starting out, I don't know if you remember the beginning of that game, but if you don't know what you're doing, there's a solid hour of figuring out what to do.
Well, there's a lot of experimentation in it, but it's not like I'm going to turn left. Oh, I died. All right. Well, I'll try and turn right. Oh, I died. All right, I'm going to go through the door. Oh, I got shot by a Nazi. All right, well, I'm going to breach the door and throw a grenade in. Okay, the Nazis did. Oh, a zombie got me. I mean, it's not like that, right? It's not a first-person shooter or platformer or anything like that. So I think of it as being more accessible. It's like kind of like puzzle games can be a little more accessible for people who are not accustomed to playing video games. At any rate, I didn't find I am also very much not a big Sony person. Like, it's not that I dislike the Sony consoles or anything. I just prefer Xbox or PC to the Sony ones. So it's probably that I've got a bias too. If I got to be perfectly honest, I probably have a bias, and that's another reason why nothing from Sony really got me excited. The stuff from Microsoft that got me excited is stuff that should have been included earlier, like the backwards compatibility. So I can't really give Microsoft a huge boost. I am definitely excited to play Fallout 4, and I think I'll be playing it on an Xbox One, which I have not bought yet, but I'll probably get the 1 terabyte model. And some of the games that were announced at the various press conferences looked really interesting. Like, I really liked. Did you guys see Unravel?
No.
It's actually really cute. Unravel is a side-scrolling platformer type game,
and you play. You're a ball of yarn.
Or whatever. you're a fox made of yarn.
Yeah.
I think it's a fox. Anyway, it's a little like fox-like character made out of yarn, and as you move, the yarn trails behind you, and that limits how far you can go in a level. But you can also use the yarn to loop around things and help you swing across gaps and stuff like that. And the art style and the vision of the game was very cute, so I'm looking forward to that.
Did you guys see Nintendo stuff?
I really didn't look into that. I know that there was something about a plumber.
Well, I think the most interesting thing about the entire press conference, I caught like the first half an hour, I'd say. There's like 3 puppets that show up, and one is the creator of the Super Mario games, one is the president of Nintendo America, the other one's president of Nintendo overall, and they all come out as puppets, and then they eventually turn into characters from Star Fox. Very slowly, like ears show up on one, and a fox muzzle shows up on another, and eventually they turn into Star Fox to show up. Star Fox Zero is coming, which looked pretty cool. But I was looking at Twitter, and people were like, "This looks awful! I can't believe this is all they're doing." And I was kind of surprised because I thought people had a warm spot for Star Fox, because I remember playing it way back. I want to say, was it 64 or was it before that?
I think it was 64. I think you're right about that.
No,
I don't.
No, maybe there wasn't a Super NES.
It might have been Super Nintendo, because F-Zero was Super Nintendo, and then they have some of the same characters.
Yeah.
Is that the one where do a barrel roll from Star Fox?
Yes.
Star Fox was on the SNES.
Oh wow. SNES. So there you go. That's how excited we are about Nintendo. We're like, does anybody remember? And there's more Mario stuff. I think Paper Mario is meeting regular Mario. There's some kind of...
Thank goodness we are not actually a video game podcast. This would be the worst podcast in that category.
How excited are you about none of these things?
Well,
I'm still really excited about Fallout.
I am also excited about Fallout.
I'm still angry that Mario Kart 8 doesn't have proper battle Mario Kart arenas. It's just the tracks. That's just ridiculous. It's the first Mario Kart ever to not have special battle areas. And the only reason I know that is because my boy likes playing Mario Kart 8. He's right over there. So if you're hearing Ultimate Spider-Man for like the 80th time today, you'll know why. If you're not hearing it, then as Jonathan mentioned previously off air, then I have wasted your time. So listen carefully then for Ultimate Spider-Man.
Speaking of wasted time, so I watched WWJD II yesterday.
So this was the developers conference for Apple?
No, this was the movie we were supposed to watch for today.
Who picked that? Was it Eric?
It was Eric who picked it. It was a coin that tipped. Technically, it was a coin that picked it. Because the choices were Crossroads, the Britney Spears movie, or WWJD II. Eric, have you seen it yet?
I didn't. Because
because you knew
I heard I wasn't supposed to, it wasn't going to, and I
yeah, all right, fuck both of you. I watched it yesterday. I can tell you right now, I wish that coin had flipped the other way.
Well, it's the John Ratzenberger film where he plays a carpenter, I assume. And
he's a wood carver. It is WWJD II, the Wood Carver.
Oh, excuse me. Very far off.
He refers to himself as a wood carver, not a carpenter.
Okay. So
by the way, The question WWJD II or what WWJD whenever like I think there should be a drinking game, and every time you hear WWJD, you have to take a drink.
Sip, I'd assume. We'll die otherwise. I'd imagine.
You probably won't die, but you'll get tore up pretty good.
Okay, so we'll know how long our first distraction will be. Eric and I were like, okay, it was about 36 seconds in.
It's well, you're not that far off. I would say it's 7 minutes in. I think I'm pretty well. No, I might be overestimating because it might have happened before that one. But there is one right around 7 minutes. How do I know? You're gonna have to find out next week when we talk about how far did we get before we stopped watching it without distractions.
So yeah, we can't really.
You might have been spoiled already.
Okay, so June 20th, Jonathan, you put this up on Twitter. I saw the 1 minute trailer, the Kristen Wiig, Will Ferrell Lifetime movie. What is it? Adoption? What is it called?
Deadly Adoption, something like that.
Deadly Adoption, which I thought was a gag. It looks like it's completely real and it's going to show up on Saturday. Are you guys going to try to watch that?
No, I think we should save that for Podcast Without Pretense.
So we have to find the copy and just wait on it.
Or we just wait until that copy's available. Yeah. So anyway, it's my turn to pick next week when we finish this discussion. So don't worry your pretty little head. I already have an idea of what we're going to talk about.
So I have to like find a copy of this movie, keep it somewhere, and like just not watch it for weeks.
Yes, you will have to use what humans call self-control.
But why would I have to do that considering I could just keep my time and do all the regular rules?
You could just lie. I mean,
you can. You can watch it. Ahead. You can watch it ahead of time, or you can watch it. You can watch it ahead of time and write down the number. You just can't expect Eric and I to do it. Yeah. We are not going to do that. So you're just going to have to, you could do it, and then you're just going to have to wait those weeks until we talk about it.
Oh, I think there's no way I can not see that movie, but I'll do my best.
That's fine. You go ahead and write down the number, and then maybe one day we won't even decide to watch it, and you'll have that rich experience for yourself.
I like that it's impossible that he can't watch that movie because, I imagine there's a second TV in his house that is just constantly. It just shows Lifetime all the time.
Yeah, it's just a giant. It's a TV with just one button. It doesn't even have power. It just says Lifetime on it. You press it and it just starts playing. Well, now that Ayaz is distracted, we can talk about him. So yeah. Oh shoot, he's back. I'm
always distracted. To be fair. So
I was going to mention that remember we have instituted a new aspect to our movie watching ridiculous habit now, which is that at the end, whichever person chose the movie has to do a review of said movie, dictate it into some sort of voice-to-text software, take the transcription without making any corrections, paste it into Google Translate it into another language, cut that, paste it back into Google Translate it back into English, maybe put it through another couple languages if you want to. And then that becomes the review of the movie, the official Podcast Without Pretense review for whichever film we pick.
I had a question about this, by the way, which... so are we going to leave these reviews on Netflix?
We can.
Because my question for that was, should we just start a Podcast Without Pretense Netflix that's so that,
Technically, Ayaz already has a Podcast Without Pretense profile.
Well, I don't know if that's the greatest idea, only because should a film be removed from Netflix, the reviews will basically go into some kind of like stasis somewhere else. So shouldn't we have those independent of Netflix?
Probably.
Well, yeah, totally. Yeah.
Because the movies come and go all the time.
Maybe we could try one of those blog things I keep hearing about. Just paste it around.
I just throw it into paste bin and then we put a link at GFQ Network because otherwise it's like, why make GFQ Network look like some kind of weird link farm or spam farm, considering it'd be like
we're linking to the worst Netflix movies ever.
Well, not just that, but like it's really broken English.
Views. Yeah,
right. Podcast Without Pretense, bringing podcast networks down from within for 4 years.
SEO would be like screwed up, and they'd be like, "This is obviously garbage." They have 120 episodes, and it'll be like 3 of them are in bullshit.
Right.
But I'm really looking forward to hearing what these reviews are. I feel fairly confident that for the general type of movie we pick, the review will be of higher quality than the actual film.
Well, my question is whether, like, we come up with nicknames for characters. I know I do a lot, and they usually have more than one word. So I'm very curious how, like, the chick with the red hair, how that's going to translate back and forth, because it's like they'd be like the
redheaded chicken.
So my question is, are we doing all of our notes, or are we just going to write, like, I figured I would just write like a 4 or 5 sentence review.
I think what you do is you should do first of all, you dictate. But yes, you should I think 4 or 5 sentences for the review. Like, we can have the notes be still like that's the general way that we dissect the movie. But the review, I think, needs to be short. I agree that the movie does not need to be like 2 pages of ramblings of a lunatic. Like, now, as amazing as it would be to collect all of the reviews together and bind them into a book and present it as if it came from the shelf of Kevin Spacey's character from Seven, I think maybe we go with the short review.
I just a side note, you can dictate directly into Google Translate, so that's going to save
awesome. That's good. Yeah, that's perfect. I did not know you could do that.
Yeah. On the web, there's a little microphone, so that's going to save a lot of time.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I think if you want to even like write down what the English review is, just so that way you have it when you're dictating it, and your thoughts are in order, so you're not stumbling over anything.
Oh yeah.
I think that's fine too. The whole gimmick here is just to see, one, does the review do the movie justice, and 2, was it better than the movie?
So our next movie, or at least the movie we're supposed to watch, is WWJD II, The Wood Carver. Jonathan has already got his movie picked. I have to not watch the June 20th
you can watch it. You can watch it. You just have to write down your time and wait for the moment when Eric and I can also watch it.
Okay. That means,
but you can watch it if you want.
That. Okay. I will do that, I think.
I don't know. I might get Lifetime. Hold on.
You know what? I have cable now.
I have the Sling TV thing, but I think it might have Lifetime. I don't know.
I might actually have Lifetime as well, because I was having so many cable internet issues that I finally had to have Comcast come out here. This is not a plug for them. And so the solution was to trim off the ends of the cable that were feeding into my outlet upstairs, remove all the splitters, which I don't use anyway. I just use the living room outlet. So now it's a direct connection from the street into the house to the living room, and that's it. And while he was here, he went ahead and hooked up the cable television so it actually worked, which is new to me. I've never had it work before. So I might even have Lifetime. I don't know for sure, because I've got a real basic cable package. So, but I'll check.
Do you have a DVR?
I do.
So you probably get Lifetime. I think that's part of the basic. This is the most fascinating episode we've ever done, by the way. Really poor E3 coverage, not knowing what's on Sling TV and not knowing what's on Comcast basic cable, because none of us really give a fuck about Lifetime. And I'm realizing now a 5-year-old is hearing me swear really loudly. Then...
It's okay. Spider-Man says it all the time.
Then, well, he already knows the words, and I've asked him to repeat them. He just knows they're just adult words. He's not supposed to use them. So it's not about like him like learning the words. He already knows them all. Yeah. But anyway,
now he's learning that Daddy doesn't follow the rules, and he uses them all the time.
Well, as an adult, I'm allowed to use adult words as part of the rules. Like that's the way it works. Yeah, there you go. It's a good thing this is not being pumped.
This is society. If it didn't work this way, everything would just be chaos.
Well, that's like PG-13 to rated R, right? It's kind of like, well, it's more like MPAA rules than society. That's not exactly indicative of society, I'd imagine. But yeah, so Lifetime, I'm looking forward to this. Otherwise, tonight I'm going to see fireworks, assuming it's not raining. That's another reason why this episode's super short. So if you're like listening to this in the middle of it, it's raining, so there might not be fireworks, which I guess I'll find out soon enough.
Yeah.
You guys, are you guys excited about fireworks that you won't be able to see from where you are? Because I'm not
even
near
a
you guys.
little bit. I was mostly excited that I didn't have to go outside today, because it is in the upper 90s and high humidity here in Atlanta, and it's going to be like that for the next several weeks. So it's going to be miserable. So I was glad. Let me ask you.
Yeah. As a person who's losing his hair, that being me, is it better to have hair and be sweaty, or is it better to be bald and sweaty?
Well, I don't know, because I live in Atlanta, where the humidity is so high that your sweat never evaporates off of you in the first place.
Mm-hmm. So when you want it in the hair, so it just kind of stays there?
Either way, it's either going to mat your hair down, or it's going to pour into your face. But either way, it doesn't evaporate, so it doesn't actually cool you down. That's actually one of the reasons why it's dangerous to be out and about in Atlanta during this kind of weather, because your body will start producing lots of sweat to try and cool you down, but because the humidity is so high, the sweat never evaporates, so you don't cool down, and your temperature continues to rise.
So do you carry like a head squeegee? Does that help? Or
I don't need a head squeegee. I have a thing called a hand.
What's that? That's like a head squeegee.
I literally do this. I use the hand. I go across like this, and then I go sploosh.
That's like an organic squeegee.
Well, you asked me if I carry a squeegee. No, I have a hand.
Okay, fine.
I use my hand like a squeegee, but I don't carry a squeegee. Okay. No, but what I do carry around with me is a 24-ounce bottle of water, because otherwise, I walk to and from work, and the walk back is starting to get pretty rough. I don't know that I'm going to be able to keep doing that. I may have to take the train home. It's still about a little less than a mile walk from the train station to my house, but that's a lot better than 3 miles. So I might have to start doing that, just based upon how tough it's getting to get to the house.
So Sandine, when are you moving to San Francisco?
Probably mid to late next month. It's going to be in 2 phases. I'm going to go, and then I'm going to come back here, and then move the rest of the house.
I'm going to go to San Francisco, then I come back, and then I move my stuff to San Francisco, but now I'm stuck. So my stuff's in San Francisco.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
This is like that riddle, right? So so you've got a boat, you've got a lion, a goat, and a cabbage. Now you can only take
Did Strickland die?
2 things across any given time. How do you get everything across, and how many trips does it take?
Uh-oh.
Except in this case, it's Eric and his stuff. And instead of across a river, it's San Francisco. But other than that, it's exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, right.
Yes. All right. Well, Ayaz is being interrupted. So
do you want to say something loudly then, if you're going to be on air?
Hug.
A hug? Hang on.
Not from there. At least it was hug. I thought it was something else.
Yeah.
I thought it was the adult word. Oh man, I'm so mad that you guys didn't watch that movie.
That was fun.
Well, I'll be watching it.
That's good. You should.
Oh.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi.
Do you know these people?
Hi.
Mm-mm.
You can't see them?
No, he's just
one of them is we call one of them Jonathan. Look forward.
That would be me.
That's Jonathan.
This one's Jonathan.
Uh-oh.
We call the other one Eric.
Okay.
Say hi.
Hi.
We got Suncast producing. Say hi, Suncast.
Aw.
Uh-oh. You lost the plastic thing? Is it in your ear?
Uh-huh.
Oh, this is fun. Get to extract plastic from an ear.
Well,
okay,
I think
that
that's
terrifying.
I was about to say
that's a first.
For a moment, I thought we were going to have to say next time on Podcast Without Pretense.
The hospital visit was fun. Anyway, so since you wanted a hug, now you're on the air. Now what are we gonna do? Talking to the microphone.
Okay, ask her this in my ear.
Okay.
Well.
Why are you late?
The guy from Help getting this from my ear.
Can you get your ear? Okay. You want to go back up there now?
No.
Okay. I'll get
Just
this for
wondering
you
how-
in the ear.
I'm wondering how Spider-Man's doing, honestly.
Okay, so you popped out the plastic again.
Where's,
right.
where's the plastic?
That's on the floor. Here. I'll trade you. Okay.
Okay.
I can't hear anything.
This has
Grab
become
it.
the
This show
Best
gets better and
episode.
better.
best
Okay.
episode
Yep.
of Podcast Without Pretense ever.
I agree.
I agree.
Best episode ever. Anyway, I think on that note, since we basically jumped the shark, and I'm being given plastic in my head, next week on Podcast Without Pretense.
Guys, I still don't know what Jesus would have done.
I have no idea what's been said. I'm out of plastic parts.
Oh wait, I'm supposed to have a kid now? No.
I don't see it.
I got it.